Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to the training tonight. Today we've got Dana Lombardi. She is a four-star Golden Circle and four-star Crystal Executive, and she made the six-figure club in the first 5 months of joining the Isogenics business. So she's going to be talking about grit today and how you can build your business using grit. So she's going to explain what that means. And I'm going to hand over to Dana. And thank you very much, Dana.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, you guys. When Rachel asked, would you be willing to hop on? I'm like, totally. I love this profession. And I love grit. And I love that I can help hopefully inspire somebody today by my story. So I'm going to start with just sharing my story so you guys can get to know who I am a little bit. I have been in the profession for 7 years. And I don't know if you guys dealt with this across the pond, but here we had a complete financial meltdown in about 2008. Started in about '06. It affected my family closer to 2008. And we were hanging on by our fingernails. Like we were forced with, or we were facing foreclosure on our home. We were facing having to remove our children from the private school that they had been going to. We were robbing Peter to pay Paul, and paying things when, we were getting these notices that, hey, you better pay this or we're going to shut your power off. It was really a scary, scary time. And it wasn't a lack of drive or professionalism, or we weren't lazy people. We have good work ethic. It just was the industry that my husband was in, was the contracting industry, and people, when the economy dropped, weren't paying people to fix their homes, or they were paying people that weren't, doing insurance and, having employees and doing it legally. So we just really were at a tough spot. At that time, I had an online clothing business, and it was just a fun t-shirt company. It started as a t-shirt company and grew into some other things that was dedicated to just moms. And so that was a fun outlet for me, and I was doing well in there, but I realized this isn't enough. So fast forward, I was invited to a home meeting similar to what we do here with Isogenics. And I went really hesitantly. I wasn't in a great social state of mind. We were battling, and I was depressed and not really social. And so I ended up going, and I really liked the product at the time. It worked for me. And I couldn't order. I couldn't be a customer. I just went and sampled, right? Well, that night I came home and I couldn't sleep. And all of a sudden, this whole idea of doing a home-based business flooded me. And I was anti-home-based business, for 23 years. I was not interested. And I had everybody and their mom approach me. You'd be great at this, blah, blah, blah. You've got a great network. And I'm like, no, thank you. I'm not interested in that thing or that pyramid scheme. Or I had all these thoughts in my mind that I just wasn't interested. So, but that night I was really haunted, and I'm a woman of faith, and I was praying about it, and I really felt heavy on my heart. Give this a shot. This is the answer to your problems. So I jumped in, and in a really short amount of time, and it all boiled down to grit. So I'm super excited to share my notes with you on this, but I just decided it's really it. I had no idea of how the profession worked. I just was coachable, and I was going to do what my sponsor told me to do because it was working for her. And I was just willing to find the grit to do it, right? So in 5 months, I was able to save the home. And I had to get creative and say, hey, there's 6 of us because I have 4 kids. We don't have anywhere to go. Can you extend us? And I just kept making the bank drag their feet on closing, selling our home, right? And the last month that they wouldn't work with me anymore was the month I could call and say, where do I wire the money? I'm going to catch the house up, and save the home. We're able to continue to educate my children. It was at that moment where I realized, holy cow, the sky's the limit. I could do whatever I want. And I sat my husband down and I said, I think I can make more money than you in this economy, but I need you to be home. I can't run a house. And what am I hearing? Is that my computer that's making noise? Hold on. Is anybody else hearing that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so sorry. I had a YouTube video on this kitchen gadget and it just started going on its own. I apologize. Anyway, so I asked him, what do I have to make to keep you home so you can do, focus on the house and the kids and all that, so I can focus on, this business. And that number was really kind of a high number. And I, as skeptical as my husband was, decided I was going to make it happen. And so I put my blinders on. I stayed focused. I did what I needed to do to make it happen. And in 12 months, 1 year, my paycheck posted, and I had superseded what that number was that he gave me. And ever since then, I have been a huge fan of this profession. So now, along with that, I had gone to a conference, which is, I recommend to everybody, whenever Isogenics has a conference, whenever there's a local training, whenever you can get poured into, I recommend going, because at those events is where magic happens. I cannot tell you at this particular conference that I learned anything, but here's what I'll tell you that I remember. There was a woman in my previous company that had joined about 2 months before I did. And within a short amount of time, she skyrocketed to the #1 income earner, making 7 figures a year, earning the highest title in the company. And although I was making 6 figures and I was doing quite well and very thankful, please don't misinterpret this story I'm about to tell you, but I was very thankful for where I was. But I went up to her and I said, hey, congratulations. I am so inspired by you and your success. And you've only been here 2 months longer than me. And you're doing 6 figures. You're doing 7 figures. I'm doing 6 figures. What's wrong with me? And you know what she said to me? She leaned in and she goes, I just have more grit than you. That's all. And I was all, well, what the hell's grit? Like, I want that. I don't even know what grit is. So I went on a search and I figured out what grit is. And so here's what grit means to me. The definition of grit, by the way, is firmness of mind and spirit, an unyielding courage in the face of hardship or danger, managed to survive by his grit, is kind of putting it in context. Okay. So firmness of mind and spirit. Takes grit to do this business. So if you're taking notes, I want you to write down G for grit. Okay. That's the first letter for grit. And what that means, we're going to talk about growth. Okay. In this industry, in this profession, in this company, we always need to be growing. And there's 2 aspects to that. Okay. We need to be growing ourselves personally. Okay, personal development is a huge thing. I'm going to give you a suggestion of a couple books to read. You can get them on audio. I always plug into podcasts, YouTube videos. I mean, I'm just even still pouring in, because the more you personally develop, the belief in our product, the belief in our company, the belief in our profession, and the belief in ourselves happens. One nugget of information at a time, okay? So we've always got to be growing. One of the books that I highly recommend, can I share my screen from here? I'll show you a picture of the first book. If you haven't read it, forgive me if you have, but if you haven't read it yet, I encourage you to do so. It's called Your First Year in Network Marketing. And let's see. How do I get back? Okay. There we are. Looks like this. Can you all see this? Okay. So if you order it on Amazon or order it online somewhere, it's Your First Year in Network Marketing by Mark and Renee Yarnell. Now, I wish I had listened to my sponsor when she said, read this book right out the gate, because I had never done network marketing before, but this, and I didn't do it. I started reading it about 11 months in. So take it from me, whether you've been in this profession for a long time or never before, read this book, okay? that was a game changer for me. Okay, can you see me now, or is it still my screen? Okay, good. Okay, that was a game changer for me because it really started showing me big picture, and it was it really kind of planted in my soul that if I put X amount of focused time in on doing the do, I can have whatever life I design, right? So read that. Another really, and it's a super easy read, you guys. I mean, I don't love reading. It's become a discipline of mine. It's not a hobby of mine. Like, I read the Bible because I have to. I just need it for my soul. And then I read other books that are helping me along the way. This is another good one. It's called The 4-Year Career. This one is by, who the heck wrote this? Richard Bliss Brooke. This was a really good one. You can look at that one. Of course, if you haven't read Think and Grow Rich, this is another one of my favorites that's in my library. I have a whole lot of books. These are just the main ones I can tell you have helped me. Okay, Word of Mouth Marketing is a really good book too. That one's by Andy Cernovitz. Okay. So that's personally growing yourself, ourselves, okay? Now, we also need to be growing our business. So sometimes we get caught up in management mode. You guys, that's the most dangerous place to be in this profession, when you're managing other people's business and you're on call and you're answering. Now, there's a place for helping other people, but managing only and not growing our personal business is really a dangerous place to be. So we always need to be leading by example. I will never tell my team to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. And if I'm telling them to go enroll preferred customers, then I better be doing it myself, right? So we're always wanting to bring customers into our business. We always want to cast that vision of taking advantage of our, associate opportunities so that we're earning money. I mean, we're earning thank you for referring us money, that kind of a thing. You see what I'm saying? So you're always growing your business, never get stuck in management mode. And I actually learned that a little bit the hard way. I found myself in my previous company doing a lot of management, helping people chart their success and blah, blah, blah. And then I wasn't spending the time. It wasn't that I wasn't willing to, I just wasn't spending the time on growing my own business. So that's that for G. Okay. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything on my notes here. Okay. Now write down R in grit. That means resilience. Okay. Resilience is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. Okay. I'm a visual person. And I tried to find a rubber band, and I was still looking for one, and then realized we were late. So I never found a rubber band, but picture this with me, will ya? A rubber band, you can stretch it, and when you're done stretching it, it's resilient enough to get back to where it was. Okay, you can stretch it, and it goes resilient right back to the way it was. Now, eventually, it starts to lose its shape, which just means it's growing and growing and growing. And so we have to be willing to be stretched, you guys. If we want to succeed in this business, we've got to be able to be willing to jump out of our comfort zone, okay, and really put ourselves out there. And sometimes fear can stop us. I mean, I know that I had to deal with a little bit of that. And I finally had to get to a place where people's opinions didn't matter to me. They didn't pay my bills. So if you don't believe me, go into your favorite coffee shop and order a pastry and a cup of coffee. And when they say, how would you like to pay? Say, I would like to pay on everybody's opinion. And they're going to kick you out of there because that doesn't pay your bills, right? So we've got to be resilient to just really stretch ourselves. And that's where that personal development, personal growth comes in. The more solid our foundation is in the belief that we can do this, the belief of the possibility, and the belief in our products and our company, the more resilient we'll be able to be. Okay, and you can't have resilience without growth, because you're going to stretch, not know those boundaries, and eventually you're going to snap. Okay. We have to be, here's a really good thing too. And I think it's in that first book that I recommended to you, Your First Year in Network Marketing. I think that's where I heard this analogy. If not, it's in one of these books, but I'm going to share it with you because it's good enough. We have to be willing to hear the word no. Okay. Picture, if you will, you're in a diner for breakfast, and you had coffee and orange juice and you had your omelet and you're all set, and the waitress comes up to you and says, would you like another cup of coffee? Would you like a refill? And you politely say, no, thank you. I can promise you she's not in the corner crying because you told her no. It wasn't about her. It was just about you not wanting the coffee. And so as we're giving this information out to our connections, to our friends, our family, our network, and we're getting no after no after no, they're not saying no to us, you guys. They're saying no to either what they don't know, or our product right now, because it's not about our timing, it's about their timing. Okay, our job is just to get that information out, and when they're ready, they know right where to come back. So no is just 2 little letters. It's just N-O. It's not, doesn't hurt. It's no big deal. We've got to be resilient enough to stretch through those no's and not let them bother us. Okay, does that make sense? Can I get a yes? Okay, good. All right. Here's to kind of just drive that point home, and then we'll move on to I had about a week and a half ago, I got a private message from somebody who was on my team. I didn't sponsor her, but her sponsor had quit, and her sponsor had quit. And so this gal seeked me out through, just figuring out who her upline was. And she said, I'm not doing the business anymore. So she quit. But I got somebody that I had introduced to this business a long time ago. I put her in our Real People, Real Results page, and she's ready to order. Can you help her? And I'm all, yeah, I'll help her. Well, I was able to sell her a value pack. She's since done an auto ship. She has since lost some weight. She's feeling great. And she's one of my best customers who's now considering becoming an associate. So you got to stick around long enough to be here to reap the benefits of all these seeds that you're planting right now. Okay? So resilience, that's huge. Okay. Integrity. Integrity means the quality of being honest and having a strong moral principle. Okay? Here's the thing. I really believe that if we're not going to do this business with integrity, so on your paper, write I, that's the I in grit. In the long run, we're not going to succeed. We may see some money right up out the gate, and we may see some success right away, but for long-term stability, integrity is really important, you guys. And I'm probably even just preaching to the choir on this one, but I'm just going to share with you my experience. I've learned this. I didn't have to learn this the hard way, because being a business owner outside of network marketing, it's a given. The more integrity we've ever used in our business, always doing the right thing, even if it cost us money, has really helped to bless our business and grow our business. So here's just a few things that we can use here in this profession, in this company. Have enough integrity to tell the truth. You guys, we don't need to inflate these products. These products, they're already amazing. Like, we don't have to say they're going to do something more than they're doing, because they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. So when somebody's talking to you about the shake, you give them the information about the amino acids and about the balanced protein with the good carbs and the good fat, and its dense, undenatured cellular nutrition. This whey protein we use is amazing. All of that is true. We don't need to say, and 3 days in, you're going to lose 10 pounds and you're going to be running a marathon. You see what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. I'm over exaggerating the point, but let's just be really truthful, really honest with how good these products are. That brings me to inflating the results. We don't need to inflate those results. We want to give people legitimate or realistic expectations, okay? Because the bottom line is their success is based on how well they follow the program. And so I always tell people, I'm not reinventing this. I'm just telling you what our clinical studies show, that this system has proven to work better in a weight wellness situation than a heart healthy diet. I'm not over exaggerating it. I'm not giving them an explanation as to what they can expect. Now, when I have people say, okay, so if I do this, then how much weight should I lose in the first 30 days? And I go right back to that statement I just said. Well, it depends. Are you going to exercise? Are you going to stay at the high end of the calories for your snacks? Are you going to stay at 80 calories a snack or 120 a snack? Are you going to stay at 450 calories for a meal or 600 for a meal? Are you going to do 2 cleanse days? It just depends. So I always try not to, share, but I do share. I have one friend that lost 8 pounds. She needed to lose 25 pounds. She lost 8 pounds in 30 days, and she really stuck to it. I have another friend that lost 27 pounds in 30 days because he was really, really focused, and he was at the gym. So that's a huge difference. It just depends on how much you put into it, okay? We don't need to inflate the income. So here, this is where this profession tends to get a bad name. People inflate the income they're making, the income that, if you do A, B, and C, you can make this. And then what happens is now we've taught our prospect not to manage their expectations. And when they're not making 6 figures in 5 months, they are like, well, this thing doesn't work. Right? So we've got to be really good ambassadors about just being truthful with integrity, explaining to people, you get out of it what you put into it. And if you do these steps that are proven, this is how much money you can expect to make. Okay. Now, if you put a time frame on it, that depends on you. I was able to retire my husband in 12 months and save my house in 5 months because I exchanged a lot of time to put into my business. I missed some soccer games with my kids. I missed some baseball games. I missed date nights. I was, saying hi to my husband as he was coming in the door, and I was going out the door to do a home meeting. I exchanged time. I put a lot into it, so I got a lot out of it. And I actually had a part-time job as well. I had my full-time business, sending orders, shipping orders, producing orders. I had a part-time business doing admin work for $15 an hour just because it was tight. And I had 4 kids. So I didn't sleep a lot. I mean, I was lucky to have 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night, and not everybody's willing to do that. So let's just be real about the income opportunity and give people a realistic expectation. And then the last thing I want to say about this is when we are talking to people, whenever I have somebody that says, oh yeah, I heard about this, my neighbor told me about it. Well, I'm going to dig a little deeper. I'm going to say, is your neighbor working? Is this their business? Are they using the product? Because you need to go talk to them. And I always send people back to where they came from. Because I would be horrified if my friend Jill, that I have introduced to Isogenics and that I put into our Real People, Real Results, and that I've sent videos to, and that I've really opened the door for her to look at this as a way of life for her. If somebody scooped in and said, oh, here's my thing, here's my business, here's what I'm doing, here's how I've lost weight or gained energy or why I look the way I look, order here, I would be devastated. I wouldn't want anybody to do that to me. So I always like to send people back to who they started talking to about this product. Now, there's always a gray area there. If somebody says, yeah, somebody mentioned it to me, I don't even know who they are, well then, it could be in passing. If this is somebody who said, yeah, I've got a Facebook person, I don't know them, they live in, Texas, and I'm here, and they mentioned this on Facebook, but I don't know them and I'd rather work with you. Okay, we're not going to turn somebody away if they'd rather work with somebody they know. But really, 9 times out of 10, we always want to encourage people to go back to where they first heard about our product, because that's going to come back and bless us bigger than taking that one customer. So, okay, following me so far? I feel like I'm rattling really fast. Okay, luckily we're recording this, so if your notes, if you haven't taken your notes fast enough, you can watch it again. Okay, so I want you to write T for tenacity. That's the T in our word grit. Tenacity. Tenacity means it's the quality or fact of being able to grip something so firmly, the quality of being very determined, the quality of persistence. So tenacity is kind of summing up all of what we just talked about, right? Be so determined, so persistent that you won't quit. And we'll go back to that one referral I got. These people, this gal had put her in the group. She, cast the vision, but she didn't hang around long enough to actually be able to sign this person up. She didn't have enough tenacity. Okay. And so we've always got to keep in the back of our mind our goals, our why, our reasons. And anytime we feel discouraged, we need to just be so tenacious that we're going to allow ourselves to be discouraged today. Because when you're in that mindset, you don't want to be working your business anyway, because people are going to feel that energy and they're going to go running. Okay. Take the break, take a deep breath, and start the new day tomorrow. But don't quit. You got to have tenacity. And for me, being such a visual person, it really helps me. I wish I could turn my camera around. Can I? I don't think so. But when I am sitting at my desk and I look up, I have a dream board and I've got pictures of things that I want, some picture of things that my husband wants. It doesn't mean we're going to own all of them, but it does if we want to, right? Depending on how hard we work. And every time I get, discouraged, I'll look at that and I'm like, I want my kids to graduate college debt free. I want my husband to continue to have the freedom to work or not to work. I really would like a log cabin in the mountains someday. I really would like to have that car, that kind of a thing. And then over to my other side, to my right side, I think I'm backwards with you guys, right? But on my right side, I have 4 bulletin boards. Okay, I'm plugged in. That's not going to work. I have 4 whiteboards, and that's where I keep my notes. And the one that I am focused on right now, I have this statement written. It says, how may I serve you? That is a question that I want to ask every single person that I reach out to. How can I serve you? I want to be a servant. I want people to be able to tell me what their desires are, and they want to feel better. They want to have a better body or a bigger bank account. How can I serve you? And so I do that often, is I'll just put little things. We have there's a small group of us that are doing a 2-week push where we're committing to reaching out to X amount of people per day. And everybody came up with their own number, and I said 25. And so on one of my boards, I have 7-day push, 25 per day. And I wrote out Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, every day of the week. And I am telling every time I hit 25, because it's keeping me focused, because I have enough tenacity not to quit. And then I've got a couple other reminders. I'm one of my boards, I have the crystal reset deadlines and qualifications up there. And then my 4th board, I am tracking my leadership in action points. So do what you have to do. Get yourself set up so that you can keep your dreams in check, your accountability in check, and take into consideration everything. You're personally growing, you're growing your business, you've got lots of integrity, you're resilient, and you're too tenacious to quit. And that's it. That's what grit means to me. So, passing it back to you.
All right, Dana, thank you very much. That was awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anybody have any questions for Dana? Any questions, any comments? I'm just looking through my notes. I'm never prepared to ask the questions neither. I'm just taking it all in. What have we got on here?
So while you're looking through all of that, you guys, Isogenics, I've only been with 2 companies. This is my forever home. I did lots of research. I had been unhappy for a while at my previous company. And I can tell you guys, Isogenics is the cream of the crop. I mean, the tools they give us, never in my previous company did we have new incentives as often as Isogenics comes up with them. They give us the tools. My previous company took tools away and didn't replace them, making it harder and harder and harder to be successful. And I almost feel like Isogenics, I don't deserve, you guys are amazing. So if anything that you take away from our time together is you're in the right place at the right time. And Isogenics has it dialed in. From what I've experienced, I think Rachel can agree. She was with 2 other companies before this one, and this company's just special. Definitely special.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dana. It really is. And boy, did I do my homework when looking to switch, because I had been with 2 other companies before. So if I was going to do it a third time, it was going to be my third and my final time. It had to be the best of the best, so I did my research on comp plans, on products, on teams, on the company and their integrity. And, now we've been with them. We're going on this summer. It'll be 2 years. So it's a little over a year and a half for both of us. And we can't find anything wrong with this company. I mean, it's just amazing. Anything that ever happens, whether it's with a customer, the customer's always right. They always make it right by the customer. They always make it right for the associate. Do you guys know what the A in Isogenic stands for?
No.
If it's not right for the associate, it's not right for Isogenics. So that's why they make it bigger than the rest of the letters for associate. So it just really is. It's a phenomenal company. So thrilled to be here. I absolutely love what Dana said about getting people on, and then they get people on, and then they get people on. And you really do need to just stick around long enough, because all of the seats that you're planning, even if you feel like maybe you have a week and I'm just not getting anybody signed up, or maybe you have a couple of weeks and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm in a dry spell. Just know that every day you're planting seeds. And those seeds will start to sprout when the timing is right for those seeds, right? So if you plant thousands of seeds, let's say in 6 months or even a year, even in a couple of years, and then you stick around long enough, all those seeds will start to sprout. But you don't want to let, not getting somebody enrolled shut you down so that you have a couple of days or even a couple of weeks without planting seeds, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah. And I'm going to piggyback that too. I had about 4 or 5 people I have had since I've joined Isogenics. And for me, 2 years will be September. I'm a couple months behind Rachel. And I want to say, I'm trying to think of all their names, and I've come up with 5 in my head. There could be more, of people that I really was prospecting, if you will, just kind of casting that vision. Hey, you'd be great at this. You could do what I do. You've got kids at home. You should give this a shot. That were never interested in hearing me out at my previous company, even at this company. And slowly but surely, they are ready. And they didn't really care where I was. They wanted to partner with me. So it's you. So my point is with some of these people, I planted seeds for 5 years, 5.5 years at my previous company, and they weren't ready. The timing wasn't right for them. And they would have joined me if I was at that company or this company, right? I'm just glad I'm able to give them this package, because it's so much better. And so that's my whole point. If it takes 3 to 5 years to plant seeds, to build your business to where it's almost on autopilot, like you're getting your cycles. There's weeks where recently, if any of you follow me on Facebook, I have been battling some health issues that were new to me. I had all kinds of stuff going on, crazy. And I took a little step back as far as sharing Isogenics per se, because I really was focused on getting my health. I was sharing that kind of out loud on Facebook. And I still got paid. There were weeks, ask Rachel, there were weeks that I didn't sign anybody. And I just needed to kind of, let my business work for me. So, work your business while you can, so that when you can't for a time, it will work for you. Mm-hmm. You got to get that residual income ball rolling. So
that's right. That's right. And you did. You worked so very hard, so that when you did have to take that time off, your business kept going and kept growing.
Yep. Yep.
Beauty of this.
Yeah, I'd like to add something here as well. I've got very similar stories. I mean, I've been doing Isogenics for a little over a year now. We started selling products in May. And so I started just before Christmas, the year before last May. And in that time, I've had so many dry periods where I've just not signed anyone up. But then shortly after, at some point, all of a sudden I'd signed 4 or 5 up in a week. And it's just because I've been planting seeds for the last couple of weeks, and even the last couple of months, some of the people I signed up in that week where I signed up 4 or 5, I'd been talking to for 8 months.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden they were ready. I've just signed somebody up recently who came to me 6 months after I put her in the Real People, Real Results group. And she's like, I'm ready. And then I've had somebody else come to me out of nowhere. I've never spoke to him in my life. Somebody in my friends list. Oh, I'd like to talk to you about this. I can see what you're doing on Facebook. I need to have a health transformation. In fact, I've had a few of those turn up recently. And I'm like, just blown away by that. I'm like, this is just the seed you're planting, but you don't even realize it. You're just posting on Facebook, you're posting Real People, Real Results, you're talking to friends, you're meeting new people, you're thinking this isn't working because I'm not signing anybody up. And then all of a sudden you sign 5 people up in a week and you're like, wow, I'm amazing at this. I'm a rock star. I've made it. I'm going to be a millionaire in a week. And then you go through another few weeks of nothing. And then, oh yes, I sign a few more people up. And it just happens like it's like a complete wave up and down all the time. You just got to go through the downs and don't get too excited on the highs, because then the lows seem harder. So it's really about emotional mastery when you're at those peaks, not to get too excited. And then when you're at the lows, just remember that just around the corner, you're going to sign up loads of people and get double PIBs. And that's really exciting. So you just got to stick at it. And of course, in the first couple of weeks, you're doing the learning curve. And that could be a couple of months, depending on it's all about exposure, not the amount of time how long you've had your account. It's how much work you do from the moment you get the account. Okay, from the go date, it's like, how much work have you done, not how many hours or weeks or months or years have you had the account. And so, but yeah, just keep going. All these seeds are planted and they're starting to grow, and eventually they pop out the ground and you're like, yes, there we go. And some of them will be business builders, and then they start planting seeds with you and it starts to exponentially grow, and that's when it gets really exciting.
That's right, Mike. And keeping your lights on, right?
Yes.
Meaning, let people know what you're doing on a daily basis, because people are watching. And if you stop posting for a while, they think you quit, or they think you're not serious, and they'll go find somebody who is serious.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, keep posting Real People, Real Results. Keep posting on your Facebook page. Let people know you're open for business all the time.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Dana, so much. Dana's always such a team player. You know, her and I were sidelines in our other company, and anytime I asked her to be a guest speaker or anything, she just always says yes, you know, and it can be a drop of a hat, like an hour earlier than she thought it was. She hopped right on, looking beautiful as always. So thank you, Dana, so much
Thank you, Rachel.
to contribute to this team.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dana.
You're welcome.
It was a great talk. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, you guys.
All right, I'll get the recorded put up on the WhatsApp.
Adam, did you have a question there?
Actually, I did, but all 3 of you answered that question already. So yeah, I was going to ask the question of how to go through those times, those lows, as you showed, Mike, those times where you put up work, but you don't see results. And the 3 of you answered the question pretty well. So yeah, thank you for that.
Well, and I'll add to that too. You know, Adam, I have lots of people that I work with on my team, right? And they get the information out there, but they might be missing one little thing. It could just be passion, could be excitement. It could just be something. And that's why the G in grit with growth is really important, because when you've got your feet really anchored in on your belief system, that's going to exude out. And so I almost approach people when I'm talking to them about what we do. I almost approach them like, listen, I don't say this out loud, but in my head, like, I don't need them, but they need what we have. And it's my job to tell them about it. And so I go in with no expectations. I'm giving you the information. I'm so excited how it made me feel. I share my own personal, like, holy cow, I'm allergic to everything under the sun. I crashed my adrenals. My thyroid's not working. I've got Hashimoto's disease. I'm a hot mess. And this nutrition has absolutely given me my sleep back, my quality of life back. I'm losing weight. I'm feeling so good. You got to give it a try. And it could just be an excitement thing too. So it's one thing to keep doing the do, but if you're not growing your belief system, that energy doesn't change either. So everybody on here needs to get super excited and a little transparent and just share. People need what we have. We don't need them to need it. They need it. And our job is we get to get paid to share it. So let's get excited about that. Because if we aren't excited about our product, why would anybody else we're talking to be excited about it? So that was just one more little caveat I felt led to say. So
yeah, I completely agree, Dana. It's like Michael Klaus teaches, and I don't know whether that's the source of it, but he teaches it. That's where I learn it. You've got to get your belief level from a 1 to 10 foot tall and bulletproof in the following 5 areas. So it's products, your belief in the product. Do you believe that these products are the most amazing thing on the planet? That's easy to get to a 10. You just put in enough products on a regular basis and you will get that belief. You'll be feeling amazing. Without that, it's impossible to get prospects signing up because you don't even believe in the products. Then it's the company. Do you believe that the company is the best company in the world? I love your shaker, by the way. That's awesome. The third one is the industry. Do you believe in the industry, or are you not quite sure whether it's a dodgy pyramid scheme? Do you know the difference between a pyramid scheme and a network marketing company? And are you 100% certain that Isagenix is a network marketing company? And do you know how many billions of dollars a year are being made in the network marketing company, despite what your best friend thinks about the industry? Okay, the fourth one is the compensation plan. That's probably actually number 3. But okay, so the fourth one's the compensation plan. Do you understand how you're getting paid? Do you understand that this is the best compensation plan on the planet? Dana said that she looked at various compensation plans. No, Rachel did. I looked at 12 compensation plans since joining Isagenix, and I looked at one prior to it. So that's a total of 13 plus the Isagenix one. I was like, this is by far the best one, significantly. So I know for a fact that I love the compensation plan. And then the last one is the U factor. Do you believe that you can do it? If you have all of these 5 beliefs at 10 foot tall and bulletproof, as opposed to 1 or 2, and if somebody says it's X or Y, you're just going to go, okay, I give up. That's what you need to do. You got to get your beliefs to a 10, and then you are unstoppable. And it comes across, people are always saying to me, you're so passionate about this. Whether they want it or not, it's irrelevant. They're almost buying into it anyway, because you're just so passionate about it. But that's because I have these things at a 10. And anybody who has those at a 10 and speaks from a place of passion and energy and enthusiasm, it just comes across so much better than low energy, not quite sure, and just you got to be passionate about it. Definitely, it comes across. Passion sells, guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So okay, you guys, if there's no more questions, I'm gonna
we're
done. I should be joining your Zoom right now, actually.
Thank you,
right,
Dana, and thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Dana.
You're welcome. Good to see you. Keep going on those planks, girl. You're doing great.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye, you guys.
Bye.
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 Bye.